Cut her off if she does these things during the talking stages. In this video, I'm going to go into exactly what women's behaviors you have to pay attention to so you're not falling over time and time again, constantly getting attracted to women who are doing these behaviors and wasting your time. All right, number one is inconsistency. If a woman wants to meet you and date you, she will make an effort, men, to meet you, okay? Stop making excuses for a woman's behavior because she has kids or she's too busy or something is happening in her life or anything like in this sort. In regards to human behaviors, when you are present and know that someone's inconsistency shows you also their opportunity. Inconsistency also shows you their interest level. So don't mistake her unavailability for high quality. Number two is self-entitled, one-sided behavior. So I get it at the beginning of the courting process. Some women will expect you to plan the dates. But after the third or fourth date, she is not reaching out to you, let's say. You feel like you have to kind of do it all. You feel like you have to do all the work. You're initiating all the first texts. You're initiating all the first date texts. And you want to say something and see if it changes at this point. Because there's a difference between someone being self-entitled, there's a difference between one-sided behavior, and there's a difference between some women that are out there that think that the man have to do everything all at once. And if this is not what you want, and I wouldn't agree with this type of behavior because it is one-sided behavior, and some women believe that the man has to do it all in the beginning in order to get them, but I don't have that mentality to believe that because it's actually very unhealthy. So I think as a healthy woman, if she believes this, it's because it stems from maybe the way she brought up. So one of the things I would strongly suggest for you to do is basically tell her how much you do like when a woman does initiate, she reaches out to you, she plans some things from time to time. Maybe you'll pay for the dates, obviously, if that's your go-to, but you want her to show up as well. So tell her that those are the things that you find attractive about a woman. So it challenges her to make some changes if she's giving you this one-sided behavior. But self-entitled is really, really important. So if she continues to give you one-sided behavior after you say something, this is probably a place that you have to really be concerned about and ask yourself, do you really have the same opportunities? Do you really have the same belief systems in regards to always being the one to make things work? Because if this is the woman that you think that you should be dating and she has this mindset, she's going to have the same mindset in the relationship. And so a self-entitled woman also too, you need to really figure out, is she curious about you or is it all about herself all the time? Is she really asking you questions to get to know you? What do you like and know what you want as well? So before we get into the next video, I want you to know that my name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm a dating, relationship, and life coach for you men. I help you master your attraction skills. And if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you to click the link below and subscribe and click the bell notification so you are aware of every time I post a new video. So let's get into number three. Number three is emotional immaturity. Does she expect for you to go above and beyond for her? This is unrealistic, guys. A woman expecting that you need to spoil her is a huge red flag that many, many men need to be cautious about, especially men that lead with money to some sorts. This type of woman, places blame easily and can't hold a mature conversation with you typically, because emotional maturity comes from awareness and accountability. So she lacks accountability. She lacks talking about conversations of the future, and she lacks awareness of herself. And maybe you see her that she's blaming others when things go wrong. And she has the inability to control her impulses from time to time when it comes to things in life. Number four is a poor communicator. How can you get to know someone, for example, if they can't communicate with you, right? So it's really important that you don't make excuses for her behaviors. So many times what I've seen in the men community is that you make excuses for her behaviors because she is a woman. Because I think as our society, what we've done with men is we've trained men to have this like Cinderella complex, right? Like, let me save her and then I'll become superior and I'll become her knight in shining armor. I'll become her prince, which is actually just played in Disney sitcoms and it's not real life. I think if you need to be a woman's knight in shining armor, it has something to say more about you than it does also too about the women, because you're the one that is choosing them. and getting yourself in this moment in the first place, because no one is holding your hand, making you do something, especially this woman. And so there's also a whole bunch of things that I talk about when things like happen like this, like gaslighting, manipulation, narcissists. Definitely going to put how to detect that you're being gaslighted from a woman and signs of a female narcissist in my Watch Next playlist. I'll put up here in the cards in the description box below. Now, number 5 is she needs financial and emotional support from you. This is kind of where I allude to my Cinderella story, right? She's a damsel in distress and she's looking for your help, basically. And you feel like you've gained some type of superiority when a woman needs you. And so it's a really unhealthy pattern if you're going into dating and relationship thinking that your power is in a woman needing you. So if you go into relationships thinking your power is from a woman needing you, what happens here is that you're always going to date low quality women. And when you are dating low quality women, they will bring you down. And you'll find yourself in this forbidden cycle of feeling sorry, for feeling incomplete, maybe even depressed, maybe losing a lot of yourself. Because once you get into a cycle where a woman becomes really dependent on you financially and emotionally, it becomes really toxic, emotionally, mentally abusive at times too, especially if your needs are not being met and you feel like you're going down in this hole with her. And many times you want to exit the relationship, but you feel bad because as humans and as a good human, when we get to know someone and we are in a relationship with them, we spend time with them, it's harder to let go because we've created love, we've created feelings, we've created emotions around that. So it's hard to disconnect our emotions from our logical mind thinking. And so what's really important is that you don't dive in with women who need you financially or emotionally support. Now, there's a difference between a woman wanting to be a stay-at-home mom eventually and depending on you to bring home the finances for the home for the children, but she's still independent and can make a life on her own. Men, just as much as a woman asks for a man to be financially independent, you should be asking for a woman to be financially independent as well. There is no right or wrong when it comes to asking for a woman for this, especially if this is something that you are looking for, because you have the mentality and you have the strength to ask for this from a woman. I think our society has molded men to only bring this to the table, and this is completely false. Knowing how our society is going these days, women want to be more independent, and they are becoming more independent. And so, men, I challenge you to stop going into your old programming and go into new programming and know that if you want to feel freedom in your relationships, finding a woman that can succeed in life as well is so important. Because what happens in a relationship if something health-wise happens to you, or in a marriage where you lose your job? You need to be with a partner that you know can hold down the fort during those times too. Number 6 is being disrespectful. She's blatantly disrespectful. So she puts you down. Maybe she talks about how she hates that you talk in that tone of voice to your dog, or that you have a Spanglish accent. I don't know. But she's blatantly disrespecting your character, okay? Your character is really important. So pay attention to nonverbal communication as well, like the eye rolling every time you talk about something, or the cutting you off in between and to put you down before hearing the story, or dismissing you when she's talking to you. This is extremely important when it comes to making sure that you are choosing a better woman. Number 7 is conflicting values and morals. There are opportunities to share perspectives and open ideas to one another all the time, okay? But to understand what this means is, in order for you to know if someone is aligned with your values and morals, you have to know your values and morals yourself. So if you have conflicting values and morals and you're trying to make something work, let's say this woman's religion is different than yours and you want to marry a woman, it's really important that if you're same religion, then this is a conflicting value. Let's say that she's still married and you are single and she's trying to get a divorce, but she hasn't told her husband yet or anything, and you're trying to make this work. This should be a conflicting value because it's untoxic behavior and it's morally probably not aligned with you. And so what we do is we get all of our decision making based on our emotions and not our logical mind. And so number 8 is have serious trust issues. She has really serious trust issues. I've seen this a lot. So she does not believe anything that you say. If you have never been showing her lack of trust or did anything to give her lack of trust, but she still doesn't believe anything you say, possibly because she's bringing in all of these trust issues with her old relationship and bringing all of her baggage into a new one. Because it's really important, men, that you also set standards for the women you date. And this is something I talk about a lot on this channel. And one of the things that I want you to remember, the importance of setting your standards embraces the type of woman that you're going to bring into your life. So if a woman is constantly questioning your good intentions, she may be dealing from a past relationship trauma, and this relationship will become exhausting for you because she will constantly think that you're lying to her, and you're constantly going to be like you're proving yourself. And it's going to become exhausting that you're going to even start questioning yourself as well. Before we go into number 9, I want you to know that I have something for you. It's called How to Be the Alpha Man That Women Actually Crave and Desire and Want. And if you feel like you're struggling with some of these up until number 8, I really go in, and it's my whole audio training program for you to really embody better masculine traits, help you embrace that alpha in you that women are attracted to, and really take off when it comes to your dating and your relationship life. I'll link that below in the description as well. So let's get into number 9. Number 9 is addictions. She suffers from addictions. So I've seen where, like I continue to say, men find a sympathy card to be handed out really easy with women because they have a savior complex. And typically when you have a savior complex with women, you feel as though if you are superior in this relationship, this gives you this superior notion that she needs you. So you have this superiority complex, right? That's why I call it the savior complex, but it's superiority complex. Superiority is not coming from a healthy balance, because if you are trying to save a woman, you will lose yourself and you will end up needing to save yourself in the relationship too. So never go into a relationship with a woman thinking that you can change her, that she just needs you. If you were in her life, and even if she says it, that you're the one that's going to be the gold medal and you're going to win the trophy and your presence exists and means that you're enough. Absolutely not. She needs to seek professional help if she has addictions in her life, because people that act like a savior needing saving themselves. So if you find yourself dating women that aren't at your level and you feel like you're always being confused and you're lacking in your relationships, then it's really time that you not only invest in yourself when it comes to personal development and knowing about your relationships, but really, really going in and finding out why. So the next thing I would encourage you to do when it comes to yourself is not only subscribe to this channel and click the bell notification for every time I post a new video, but also get my Alpha Magnet training below in the description box as well. My name is Apollonia Ponti. I'm a dating, relationship, and life coach for you men to not only get the results that you want in your life, but also dating and relationship. So with that said, I want you to watch this next video right over here. It's called My 10 Secrets You're Allowed to Keep from Your Woman. And this is a great video for you. So go ahead and watch that. And remember, you are always loved. See you in the next video.